All right. Welcome to the next episode of Herbie Sports Talk. I am Tyler, Big Herbie Herbach, and as expected, as always, across the table is Travis, Little Herbie Herbach.
I thought I was gonna say it. I swear I was gonna get it right this time. I was gonna do it. All right, Tyler stole it. It's all right.
I did.
Too many mess ups. I'll come back to it.
I cut them off. All right. So today is a very special episode to me.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be my favorite episode we've done so far, because we are giving you guys our mock drafts.
Now, only for the first round, or we're gonna be here all damn day.
Oh no. Okay. There's a reason why even like people that get paid to do this for a living, like analysts that work for NFL.com and ESPN, there's a reason why most of them only do a first round mock draft, because it takes forever. Mm-hmm. There's one dude on NFL.com. His name is Chad Reuter. Does a 7-round mock draft.
Yeah, that's fine. No.
I'm like, that's just
it's ridiculous.
Crazy. That's got to take days to put together.
Yeah, at least days. So now we're only doing the first 32 picks here.
Yeah.
We're doing our projected first round.
Yeah, super excited.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. All right. Oh, by the way, I did mine. He did his. We have no idea what these picks are, so we're gonna be able to have some debate and back and forth.
Yeah, we're completely separate here too.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. So yeah, let's jump in. There's not much to talk about with the first pick, guys. Jacksonville Jaguars. They're taking Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's been Trevor Lawrence since Trevor Lawrence was a freshman at Clemson, all right?
Yeah.
He was destined to be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Even I saw a stat. I don't remember the exact number, but I saw a stat. Since high school when he was a starter, he's only lost like 4 games in his entire starting career. And two of the games he lost were the national championship games, by the way.
Right.
Like, okay.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good. You know what's funny? And like, this is the one thing that sucks about draft season. People try to find ways to nitpick him, and like, he made that one comment that like he's not motivated by strictly football, and people are like, "Oh wait, he doesn't love the game," and he's like, "Whoa, guys, calm down! Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah,
like you sound so like people find the dumbest things to try to nitpick on and think that like that changes who he is as a player.
Yeah, no,
it's ridiculous. So, anyways, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, literally, I don't know a single person that doesn't believe it's Trevor Lawrence going.
No, there's no reason to.
Yeah.
You're just being ignorant. Like if you're not, you're just being dumb. You're just being dumb.
Or you're a hater, and either way, get out of here.
Get out of here.
All right.
So number two. On to the New York Jets.
Yep.
This one's pretty unanimous too. It seems like Zach Wilson's the go-to here.
Yeah, I mean, and basically every month he just seems to be the second guy coming off the board. Zach Wilson quarterback from BYU. He's a little raw. So we'll see how that works out.
He's got his the limit for his abilities is sky high.
Yeah, really high upside.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about all the 5 quarterbacks that we'll be covering here. They all have really high upsides.
They do, yeah, and I think this fits well too because from Robert Saleh coming from 49ers, I think he wants a QB that's a little more active, has more versatility to him, things like that, where he can really change up the offense and kind of get a whole new system in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he wants somebody with some mobility.
All right, so let's move to number 3 with San Francisco. This is where the draft changed a little bit because there's weird things. So in my draft, I'm going with what the rumors are, and I have them taking Mac Jones.
Yeah, I can't agree because it's the most ridiculous blasphemy pick I've ever.
I wouldn't pick Mac Jones if I was John.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it solely. Even if that is the truth, and it probably is the truth. It probably won't happen. It's the most ridiculous pick we've seen in forever. In a top 3 pick, he's not worth a top 10 pick.
Right. The issue. So like, report came out today that the Niners are down to Mac Jones or Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Those are their 2 guys. But it's been Mac Jones for a while now. And the more you hear about Mac Jones, like sure he has limited upside because of his he's not the biggest athlete, not the best arm, you know. But they all say that he's probably the smartest everybody that's interviewed said that he's the smartest quarterback they've ever interviewed. He's extremely intelligent, like rivaling Ryan Fitzpatrick, who went to Harvard.
Right.
They say that he rivals him in that, and Ryan Fitzpatrick has the highest ever recorded score in the Wonderluck test that they give all the draft prospects. He had a 48 out of 50. It's the highest ever, and apparently Mac Jones is like right there.
Right there next to him. Yeah. So yeah, they can pick him all they want. I don't agree. I think it's just ridiculous.
So who do you have him taking?
So I didn't think about the Trey Lance negotiation article that came out. So I put down Justin Fields because I think it fits the offensive scheme and the talent they have there. I think that really fits into his. Trey Lance has more upside, I do think. I do think his potential is a little higher. But Justin Fields is a little more. He comes in a little more honed in on his skills where he's at. Mm-hmm. Trey Lance is gonna have to more transition, more development to get ready to start. Or I think Fields could come in and have some success in that first year even.
Yeah.
So I think the talent just around Fields being at the Niners would bode well for him.
See, and I agree. If I was John Lynch, I would want Trey Lance myself over Justin. I would want just Trey Lance over Justin Fields if I'm John Lynch, because I think he has higher upside.
You're right.
He's a little obviously he needs some time to develop a little bit, but I think he can end up. I think Trey Lance actually has the talent, and I'm not saying he will, but he has the chance to actually be the best quarterback out of this group.
Yeah. In terms of upside, he's right there with Lawrence in terms of how the sky's the limit, and it just depends on what system and scheme he can fit into. Really.
Right. The one thing that Trey Lance, I mentioned this to you on another episode where he was calling line protections in college, which is basically unheard of.
Right.
Only veteran pro players do that. But the fact that they had so much respect and just trusted him that much to be able to call the protections at the line of scrimmage, that's really impressive.
Yeah, no, it's extremely impressive. I do agree. He's probably a little higher potential. Yeah. Just immediate terms of impact, I thought Fields his game fits in the scheme really well.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so I have him taking Mac Jones. Yeah. Not my pick. You got Justin Fields.
I got Justin Fields.
Okay. Let's move to number 4 at Atlanta. This is where the draft, I think, really starts.
The first 3 is kind of like what QB you take in.
It's quarterback, which quarterback. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, what's going to happen?
Yeah, now we're open for business here.
Yeah. So when we talked earlier, when we had we were just discussing the draft a week or so ago. This is where I thought there was a very big potential for a trade, for Atlanta to trade back. I'm not doing it. I thought about it, and I just don't see anyone moving up that high. Plus, the way I think these other picks are going to fall, that you're not going to need that much of a jump up for a trade to get the quarterback you want at this point. Plus, I have Mac Jones off the board, so that means you still have Justin Fields and Trey Lance, which I think both the other teams that need a quarterback are happy to get them.
Yeah.
So I have Atlanta staying pat, and they're taking Kyle Pitts.
Same.
Tight end out of Florida.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, that's an easy way if they wanted to drop back a couple picks and move somebody up to go for the QBs. It just there's no reports that they're interested in looking at QB this year. I think they're fine with keeping Matt Ryan around for another couple, 2-3 years. He's still extremely productive, and maybe they have good talent. It's like they could surround him a little bit better. You probably could make a decent playoff push.
Right, and they actually have a sneaky good offensive line. They've invested a lot in the offensive line in the draft the last couple of years, and they have a lot of good players.
So yeah, I think they go heavy offense and heavy defense in terms of the entire draft, and I have Kyle Pitts too.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about Kyle Pitts, the way he plays, I mean, he's listed as a tight end, and he's a willing blocker, but I mean, he plays out wide most of the. So he could also be a direct replacement to Julio Jones when Julio finally leaves.
I say he's like the baby version of Julio Jones now.
Yeah, a little bit. So that's interesting that we're going the same way. Cincinnati.
This one I know we're going to be agreed with because we already talked weeks ago.
Dude, I've been saying.
And if they don't do this, then Cincinnati Bengals organization can burn to the ground.
Yeah, so
they're taking Burrow with them.
Yeah, so we have them taking Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
Offensive tackle out of Oregon. If they don't take an off, I've said Penei Sewell for since the Super Bowl ended.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just the most natural selection for Cincinnati to take here. You have to protect Joe Burrow. Period.
Yeah. I mean, he got destroyed his first season. We said that he was going to get beat the hell up in that division.
And he did.
Well, and in the NFL in general, but he was in a tough defensive line filled position.
It's a deep defensive lines.
And
you're dealing with Pittsburgh and Baltimore, who are notoriously, in their entire history, they're good at rushing passes. That's what they do.
The Cleveland Browns, the last couple of years, defense has been skyrocketing through the ranks.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, he's okay.
He's pretty good, I guess, So, yeah, it's ridiculous. You got to protect your franchise QB.
Absolutely. And, and then you pair him with the kid from Alabama they took last year, Jonah something. Can't remember his last name right now. But you have 2 bookend tackles now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best thing that Cincinnati can do.
Yeah, best thing they can do for Joe Burrow.
Oh, for sure,
by far.
If you want to say that Joe Burrow is your future, you have to protect him. Period. No other way around it.
Yep.
All right, number 6, Miami. This is another spot this is the weird thing I've heard just recently, in last week, that Miami might trade out of this spot. It's they traded back and then traded back up to 6. Why would they trade back out of it?
Yeah. No, I think they got as high up as they possibly could. Without ruining the rest of their draft picks type of deal.
Right. I think it came down. I think Miami's looking to add an offensive weapon to begin with.
Yeah.
And I think it came down to Kyle Pitts was probably their number one choice as a team for most of it, but he's off the board. So I have them taking Jamar Chase, receiver out of LSU.
I like Jamar Chase there too. He's the only receiver that's I think is worth that high of a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a couple of great receivers I have even in the top 15. But at 6, I think Jamar Chase is the only one that's worthy of that level.
He seems like I think he's gonna be very much like Justin Jefferson, who also came from LSU and went to Minnesota. I think he's gonna come in and have that kind of production right away.
Yeah.
The only difference that might hinder that is that he has Tua throwing the ball instead of Kirk Cousins, and I know Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback, but he's better than Tua at this moment.
But Tua, I mean, you give Tua
another year,
a full year together, get some offensive weapons around, then who knows what year 3 could look like.
For sure, yeah.
It could look good. So no, I think they surround Tua with weapons as much as possible.
Okay. So who do you have him taking?
I have Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you liked Jamar Chase. I thought you were going another route, though.
Oh, no. I have Jamar Chase. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think they give him some weapons to work with.
Okay, yeah. So we agree. We're very much in line here.
We're gonna get more farther apart the farther we get down the list.
For sure. So Detroit's at 7. I'm getting close to my trade here. I got trade territories are coming, and Detroit has said that they're willing to trade back.
Uh-huh.
But I think they have so many holes. They have so little talent.
Yeah.
Grab the best player on your board. And the best player on my board right now at this point is Micah Parsons.
God damn Tyler.
We're just stealing each other's picks?
I guess, apparently. Jesus. I didn't think Tyler would have a linebacker going at 7, and I didn't think I would either, but I guess here we are.
Yeah, but he ain't just a linebacker. Micah Parsons is crazy.
He's a savage. He's an absolute savage. One of the best linebacker prospects we've seen out of the college in some time.
Yeah, he's the type of linebacker you need in today's NFL. Like a guy who can run sideline to sideline with he runs like a 4.4, and he weighs like 240.
He's like a faster version of Bobby Wagner.
Yeah,
kind of. They play similar too.
That's what you need. You need guys like Devin White.
Yeah.
You see that difference. The guys that can be all over the field. They can cover. They can tackle. Rush the passer a little bit if they need to.
Yeah.
They need linebackers have to be that now.
Yeah, and I think the new head coach, what's his name? I forgot his last name.
Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Yeah, that's right, Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
He just got Jared Goff in, and he's got decent offensive weapons. A couple of receivers, not great.
They lost a lot of receivers.
But I think he's going to try to load up the defense. He's going to try to get a stout defense and slowly work.
He needs someone who's going to bite them kneecaps.
Bite the kneecaps off the way up.
Micah Parsons will probably bite a kneecap or two if he needs to.
Fucking might. That might be one of the greatest coaching interviews. That one might go down in the books, with some of the other greats.
This one, so ridiculous. It's definitely a soundbite.
We're not knocking him down, way back up. We're taking kneecaps.
At that again, take the other kneecap.
What?
Dude's crazy.
All right.
We'll see how good of a coach he is, but great soundbite.
Mentality, great. Apparently.
Yeah. All right, let's move to 8. Trade alert!
Oh god! I swear to God, if we do the same thing here, I swear.
Did you call a trade here?
I called trade here.
Oh my god! Okay.
I guarantee it's the same thing. I guarantee it's the same. No.
Maybe not. Okay, we'll see what happens.
No, because our boards are different. Never mind.
Yeah. So this is gonna be Carolina. It was supposed to be Carolina's pick. I got New England jumping up from 15 all the way up to 8, and they're taking their quarterback of the future and their president apparently because they had no. Or he can sit behind Cam for a year. I got him taking Justin Fields.
Okay, interesting. So kind of similar here, but the thing is, you took Trey Lance at 3, where I took Fields.
I took Mac Jones at 3.
Or Mac Jones. I put Fields there, so Trey Lance is still on my board.
Right.
So I have Panthers trading out, but I have Chicago jumping up to 8, and and I have them taking Trey Lance.
That's a big jump. That's a 12-pick jump. Mm-hmm. That's they had to give up a lot.
That's fine.
That's fine.
you got to get Mitch Trubisky the hell out of Chicago.
Well, he's not there anyways. They declined his 5th-year option. He's gone. He's not there. It's Nick Foles right now.
Yeah, get the Foles out too.
No, Andy Fry. You forgot the red rifle. Andy Dalton's out there.
Andy Dalton's trash. No one cares about Andy Dalton.
That's who's out there.
Trey Lance is better than all of them.
So you got Chicago jumping.
Yeah, Chicago jumps to 8. Takes Trey Lance.
Damn, that's a big jump. I like it though. I mean. Yeah. The thing, Chicago was an absolute team that could jump up to take quarterback. It's such a far jump. I think they'll need to get there. There's no way. I mean,
it's gonna be a hefty one, but
even New England jumping 7 spots is a lot for a quarterback.
Yeah. True. Yeah, it is. It is. But no, I think Trey Lance has so much potential. Like I said earlier, Like it's worth them getting
I agree.
a quarterback of that skill level.
Plus, and he's actually the crazy thing about that too with Trey Lance is that people are kind of comparing him a little bit to Cam Newton.
Yeah, okay, I can see that a little bit.
They have similar builds, similar playing style.
Trey Lance's arm is just so much better.
Yeah,
his mechanical ability, his throwing ability.
Yeah. He's not as raw as a passer as Cam was coming out.
Yeah.
So they're very similar. Plus, he gets it behind Cam. Josh McDaniels will be able to work the offense to what his attributes are. His best attributes will be.
Right. Yeah. Because you have to go to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like that too, but I gotta take Justin Fields, which is basically the same argument.
Yeah, pretty close. But yeah, no, I think they're both good trades. Honestly, they do.
So it'd be interesting what they have to give up to do it.
Yeah.
That's always hard to predict. No one thought that they'd get a first round pick for, well, not a first round pick, but they got a pretty good, decent pick. They just got a decent pick for Sam Darnold. Like they got a third, which I thought was kind of crazy. That they got that back. I was thought at this point they were getting like a fifth or sixth back,
Yeah.
So pretty impressive. All right, cool. So I got New England jumping up to 8 to take their quarterback. You have Chicago jumping up to 8 to take their quarterback.
Yep.
And then Denver sitting there at 9, and I had them taking their quarterback also.
Oh, okay.
So this is where I have Trey Lance coming off the board as at 9 to Denver.
9 to Denver. Okay.
I don't care what they say; they are not sold on Drew Lock. Drew Lock is not a good quarterback. No. Stop trying to lie to yourself.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I definitely think they know that Drew Lock is not the quarterback of the future. I just don't think they have the ability to make the trades up to even get the QB they want. And I don't think they're taking Mac Jones here because Mac Jones still on my board.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't think they care about Mac Jones. You're replacing Mac Jones for Drew Lock. We're not talking about a big difference here. Drew Lock's more.
That's true.
He's physically better, faster, skilled, that type of stuff. But in terms of arm talent and all those QB attributes, about equal and more than likely. So no quarterback there for me. I have him going offense. Jalen Waddle, receiver out of Bama.
Okay. Okay. I mean, they have a couple of really young receivers out there already. They have Jerry Jeudy and Sutton.
Yeah. So I think you throw one more in there. Maybe they look for a trade next offseason or whatever. Maybe Drew Lock, steps up this season and maybe they, commit for just, a small 2 or 3 year contract to see what happens.
Interesting. Okay.
So I think Jalen Waddle at 9 is a great value at that pick for receiver.
He's a different receiver. The nice thing about that too, he's a very different receiver than Sutton or Jeudy is.
Mm-hmm.
Sutton's the big guy. Like he's big. He's like 6'3", like 230. Like he's a big dude. Jerry Jeudy is the tactician of the group. Like he runs routes better than almost anyone in the NFL already.
Jalen Waddle's faster than shit.
Yeah, and Jalen Waddle's just pure speed.
Yeah, crazy fast.
So yeah, that's a really nice young group of receivers there. They all give you something a little different. Like that's a good pickup. I like that pick actually. But since I have a good quarterback left on the board, not Mac Jones, I had them taking their quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to 10 Dallas. I feel like we're probably on the same boat on this one, unless you called for a trade.
I did not call for a trade.
All right. Do you have him on defense?
Yes.
Yep. Kid from Bama?
Yes.
All right, I assume it's Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, cornerback from Dallas, or from Bama.
Going to Dallas.
Yeah, they need defensive help all day.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick's, actually, it's pronounced Surtain, so I said Surtain, whatever. He is he doesn't have the highest upside as a corner in this draft, but he's the most pro-ready.
Yeah.
And they need they need so many things on that defense. Like the secondary is awful.
Garbage.
Yeah. Straight dumpster trash.
Dumpster trash.
Yeah. Garbage fire.
Garbage fire, yeah. Now, they need lots of help on defense, and that's about the best they're going to get. And they need more help on the back end than they do in the front anyways.
Right. I mean, hopefully you see someone like they still have Leighton Vander Esch and Smith from Notre Dame at linebacker. They both kind of took a step back last year. There's some injuries going on. Hopefully they can both raise back up, and that'll help the middle of their defense.
Yeah, a ton.
For sure. I could see them taking a pass rusher here, but the pass rushing, the group of pass rushers in this draft aren't very elite, and I think it'd be too high to take one at this point.
Yeah, I think they have their needs are stronger elsewhere.
Yeah, I agree. I think the back end of that defense is certainly their biggest weakness.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move to their NFC East rival, the New York Giants.
The Giants. So I actually have them going edge rusher here, which is funny that you made that little comment there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still got a few picks where I get my first edge rusher
Yeah.
off the board.
Their defense got made huge upside last year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was mostly based on their scheme. In terms of talent, they still needed up their skill talent.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a lot, especially after they played the Seahawks, is
Yeah.
that their defense was very much like an enigma, where you never really knew whether they were playing
Right.
weird defenses all the time, but it was super unique and you couldn't really read it. So
Yeah, their scheme was very unique, and I think that if all it takes on the defense is have one guy that can get to the quarterback on either sacks or pass rushers or knockdowns, whatever it is, beat that quarterback up a little bit. So I'm going for Kwity Paye.
Kwity Paye from Michigan.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, when we get to that, he's also my first edge rusher off the board.
Yeah.
I think he's many guys. He's solid. Like he's just a solid pass rusher. So I thought it's certainly not a bad pick. The interesting thing about the Giants defense, it kind of just came to me as we were speaking on it. They were sneaky good last year because of that, but how much of that is because the defense coordinator came up with an amazing scheme, and not as much that it was like great talent.
Exactly. It was more. I think it was more the scheme, and nobody had the time week to week to really figure it out.
Right.
Where this year it won't be as dominant. It won't be as surprising to go into those games like that. But if you add one person that can change the offensive scheme because he creates pressure on a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Then your defensive scheme just rises right back up.
Okay. So, I went to the offensive side of the ball. David Gettleman definitely seems like he's all in on Daniel Jones, right?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, he hasn't came off that, like, he's been on that pick, and he was absolutely lauded when he made the pick to begin with. People were like, Daniel Jones at, like, 6? Like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But Daniel Jones has shown some upside, and, like, he could still become a decent starting quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Maybe middle pack, maybe kind of like Kirk Cousins-y, I think. Probably a little higher upside though.
Probably. Yeah.
So with that being said, I have them taking Rashawn Slater, the offensive tackle from Northwestern.
Okay.
To protect him.
Nice.
Because their offensive line is still bad. It's been bad for like 10 years. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's been bad since last time they were in the Super Bowl. That was a long time ago. So I have them, picking Rashawn Slater, who some people actually have higher than Penei Sewell on their boards.
Don't see why.
Well, Penei Sewell is very athletic, but I think people are worried. There's a bit of worry about the kids that opted out. It seems like because they're like it's been a year since they've been playing. How good a shape are they really in? All this kind of things like that. So, but yeah, I have them protecting Daniel Jones because the same argument we have with Joe Burrow. Like if you're going to be all in on your quarterback, you got to protect him.
Yeah, good point. Fair point.
So,
all right,
and now let's go to the other NFC East rival.
Yeah.
3 in a row. Didn't even realize it until like just now. Like even when I put this together, I didn't think about, but thought about it now. Yeah. All right, so I'll let you go first. I've been taking the first lead on all these.
That's you love this crap.
I do. I'm very excited. I got chills.
So Eagles are sitting at the 12th pick. I haven't gone defense here. They need lots of help on defense.
They need lots of help everywhere, but yeah.
Similar to Dallas, I have him going cornerback. J.C. Horn, cornerback.
Yep, that's a great pick. J.C. Horn's, he's a monster. He's the son of ex-NFL receiver Joe Horn, that played a lot of years down in New Orleans. Good receiver back in his day. The most memorable thing that he ever did in his career, he had the touchdown celebration where he hid the cell phone underneath the pad of the goalpost.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he grabbed it, he brought it out. Yeah, that was back when celebrations were fun.
Yeah.
So that was Joe Horn's big claim to fame. But he was a good receiver though. Don't get it twisted. But no, I like J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn is a really good player. He has a ton of upside.
Yeah.
And he plays with a mean streak. Like he's a press corner type of kid.
Mm.
He loves to get in your face. It's great.
Good. I think it'll bring some fire to that Eagles defense.
Yeah, they need it because there's something wrong with that Philadelphia Eagles organization at this point.
Well, we'll see if they made the turnaround. They got Wentz out of there. We'll see if that really was the driving factor of negativity around.
Yeah, well, they also got rid of Chris Peterson. Now who knows? Yeah, and Nick Sirianni's out here competing, doing competitions of rock paper scissors with these draftees. So, because you want to see how competitive they were and see if they would get mad if they lost to him at rock paper scissors.
Oh, good God! I don't know.
Yeah, gotta love rookie head coaches. They're dumb. So I'm going on the opposite side of the ball. They got to do something to fix this receiving. This receiver group they have.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they have it, they just seem to be blowing it with like every selection. But this kid is basically foolproof. All right, he was basically already a pro. The way he runs his route, the way his mentality is, the dude's gonna come in and be a star right away. I think he's gonna be very, very good. Devontae Smith, receiver, Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great route runner. Don't care that he's undersized at all. Like he's heard that his entire life, and he plays with so much heart. Like he has no give up, and he has no problem. Like he's small, he's like whatever. I'll go knock out a linebacker. Watch me.
Yeah. No, absolute savage of a mentality.
Yeah.
And yeah, his skill set is pro ready. He can walk into that field and he'll make plays, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed. So that's a good pickup too. Give somebody again. It gives Jalen Hurts somebody young and fresh to rely on as well.
Yep.
So let's go to 13 at Chargers. I have Chargers taking Devontae Smith.
Okay.
I think they do need some help on the offensive line and the defensive side. But I think with Herbert, I think they're sold on Herbert for the franchise.
I mean, who isn't sold on Herbert at this point?
Great rookie year. He's just going to get better. Mm. The offensive line can continue to improve regardless of drafting offensive lines. It's not like they have the worst offensive line in history.
No, and they did just pick up, was it Corey Linsley? I think his name was the tackle from Green Bay.
Yeah.
So they signed him already. So
it's a good thing. So I think you give him a brand new, bright young receiver that you can rely on, just like we were just saying. I think they go Devontae Smith.
Yeah, that's a great pairing. Like kind of like what we said earlier with your Jalen Waddle pick to Denver.
Right.
It gives them a good mix of receivers there because you already have. Oh my God! I just lost his name.
Yeah, you lost me already.
Their number one receiver. Why am I forgetting his name?
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan. Thank you, Keenan Allen.
All right.
So yeah, they already have a great number one receiver who Devontae Smith can learn even more from. Who's also an amazing route runner. So that could be really fun to see how much better Devontae Smith gets as a route runner.
True.
Then you have the big dude on the other side. I can't remember his name either. Wow, man, I am struggling.
It doesn't matter. We're here to talk about the pick.
That's true. But I'm just saying, I like that mixture.
Okay, so who do you have?
I have him going defense, actually. Devontae Smith's already off my board.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going defense, helping out on the back end. Their defense was really bad. They lost, 6 straight games when they were up 16 points or something like that last year. Which doesn't even make sense saying it out loud.
Yeah.
So they need a lot of help on defense because they got to, give up one less point a game and, they win some. So I got him taking J.C. Horn, actually.
Nice, okay.
So plus with Derwin James back, put them on the same side of the field. Boom, that field's done. Don't even go over here.
Don't go over that side.
That is no man's land over there because ain't nothing getting there.
No, both solid picks. On either side of the ball, both picks are worthy of how we're seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting. So that's good there. Okay, number 14, Vikings here.
Oh, Minnesota.
I have them taking Rashawn Slater, the offensive tackle.
They need offensive line help.
They need offensive line help, and I think they know Kirk Cousins is not going to be anything. The ceiling's been hit. There's nothing different there.
He is who he is. Right?
And we've always thought that, but they put such good offensive talent around him. They thought maybe he would rise up a little bit, and it hasn't really happened at all. And I think
they still have a good offense because there's so many weapons.
They have so many weapons. I think they're just going to ride Dalvin Cook to anywhere he can take him. So you give him another offensive line, big man that can go set some blocks. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can see that's a good pick. Like I said, they need offensive line help. They have a lot of good weapons, and if you can keep him upright a little bit longer than he has been, then he can actually find those weapons. So actually, I'm going the other side of the ball though. They need a lot of help on defense. That defense, which used to be honestly amazing, they had a really good defense for a few years, 3-4 years in a row.
Yeah,
they were nasty. So I got that. I'm taking Kwity Paye, the edge rusher out of Michigan. You have him going a few picks ago. He's my number one pass rusher, in this draft. And they need pass rush help. I mean, they need someone to be able to really complement Danielle Hunter on the other side.
Yeah, that'd be huge help.
Mm-hmm.
Huge help. Danielle Hunter by himself is an absolute monster. But it's one of those things where you have nobody else for help. It's pretty easy to shut one guy down when you can put your guard and your tackle on him.
Yeah, you double him every play, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. So you get somebody on the other side that takes somewhat attention away from Hunter on certain plays, or you can start running stunts and really mess with the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can let your beast run kind of free there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's a good pick. So number 15, the Patriots.
Yeah, this is I have Carolina here because of my trade earlier.
Okay, so yeah, go hit yours first then.
So I have them taking offensive line help.
Mhm.
You know, they just got Sam Darnold. They still have Teddy Bridgewater there. You got to keep him upright. Plus, you need blocking to make sure that McCaffrey stays healthy in the backfield this year.
Right.
You can't. He was hurt twice last year, but barely played the whole season. So I got him taking Elijah Vera Tucker, guard from USC.
Okay.
He could play a little bit of tackle, but he seems to be more like a guard fit in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
I think his size as well.
So I think you plug him into the middle and you got a road grader for the next 10 years.
Yeah, no, it's solid. So I don't have any trades up here, so mine's still just straight Patriots.
Mm.
I have him going quarterback of the future here.
Oh, you got Mac Jones?
Here's where Mac Jones goes.
All right.
Mac Jones in comparison to Tom Brady, in terms of intelligence, if he's really smart as you think he is, and the weapons, no one ever, when Brady came out of the draft, there's a reason he dropped so low. No one ever thought he had the offensive weapons. He had no physical talent ability, but he was smart. And he got with Bill Belichick, and that worked out pretty damn good.
So Matt Rule's the next Bill Belichick?
No, he's
Oh, that's right. I got Carolina. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I forgot my trade.
No, Mac Jones,
Yeah.
Bill Belichick wants intelligence. He wants
All
somebody
right.
smart,
Yeah.
game manager. He doesn't need no fancy shit.
Yeah.
Mac Jones goes in.
You're saying this, I'm like Carolina. I'm like, so the Corey Future, they just picked up Sam Darnold. They just had Teddy Bridgewater. I'm like, why do they do that?
No, I think Mac Jones fits perfectly with Bill Belichick in the system.
Yeah, and a lot of people see this happening. But since I'm going with the rumor that Mac Jones is going at 3,
Yeah.
because of some stupid reason, it's crazy that everyone's like Mac Jones shouldn't be at number 3 pick, and they're like, he's gonna be number 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be number 3.
It's crazy. So Mac Jones to New England, it does make sense.
Huh.
It does. He seems like a Bill Belichick type of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, he can still sit for a year or 2 while Cam's there.
Yeah, absolutely, easily could.
So, all right.
All right, it's number 16. I got Cardinals here.
Yep.
No trades up, so we got Cardinals all day. I have them go offensive line help here. They need to save Kyler Murray as much as they can.
Yeah.
So I have them going with Tevin Jenkins. I'm just saying that right?
Yep. Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State.
Tevin, excuse me, well, bad handwriting, I didn't type it up like this fancy dude over here. So yeah, no, I think they need some guard help there.
Okay.
They need or offensive line help in general.
Yeah.
And if they can settle Kyler down so he's not trying to scramble out of the pocket as much, settle him down, make him a little bit more of a pocket passer this year. You get that line a little bit stronger in front of him. It helps that transition there.
Yeah, that's interesting. I have Tevin Jenkins the first round, but way down. That's interesting because that's pretty high for Tevin Jenkins. He's pretty raw, but he's massive. He's like 6'8" or something. He's huge,
big dude.
So I already have 3 offensive linemen off the board, and so I agree that Arizona does need offensive line help, but they're just not someone worth taking. I think at this point.
Okay.
Plus their offensive line. I mean, it's not great, but it's not like the worst.
Right.
So I'm taking Jalen Waddle.
Okay. That's a good fucking pairing. Holy.
Yeah, I mean, Cliff Kingsbury loves his offense, and I figured he's just keep throwing talent into it.
Yeah, man, Jalen Waddle, D Hop,
Yeah.
and then he was like, you got the small dude in the middle, the short little guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But that's lethal. That's
I
lethal.
mean, it's a lot of weapons for Kyler Murray to throw to.
Yeah.
So.
That's a good pick. I like it too.
All right.
I like it too. On to the Raiders at 17.
Yeah. So my whole argument I just made about offensive line help, it completely goes away 1 pick later. But I think Oakland's offensive line is in much more dire shape than Arizona's.
Well, they also just lost one of their best tackles in the league, so.
Yeah, dude, they traded like 4 starters.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're thinking.
John Kreuger's a crazy dude. We all know this.
Yeah,
He likes to gamble.
he's high on something.
He's high on something.
So I haven't taken Christian Darrisaw, the off tackle from Virginia
You
Tech.
bastard.
What did we match back?
Yeah, actually. That's the weirdest thing to match at the
deep?
17th pick on an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, no, they need to replace the tackle they just lost.
Yeah.
And was it Orlando Brown? What was his damn name was? I forgot his name.
No, that was from Baltimore. They
right.
traded away. It is Brown though. Traded him back to New England where he came from,
Oh, that's right.
which is crazy. And then they traded their guard to the Seahawks. Like I don't know what they're doing over there, man.
We don't know either, but they need help. So there you go.
Unless they're just trying to get Josh Richardson killed back there.
Probably.
Like he's only like your number 1 back. You might want to protect him a little bit. Oh, not to mention Derek Carr. You might want to protect him a little bit too.
Yeah, you've invested a lot into him.
Like,
So maybe not. Don't kill him this year.
yeah, but apparently it's gonna happen.
Apparently, maybe apparently.
Apparently it is.
So all right, let's jump over to 18.
Trade alert!
This is trade alert.
Why do I want like the like the wah 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 button. I want one of those.
He wants a big red button.
Yeah. Wah, wah, like bass drop.
Trade alert.
So this is my alternative.
Okay.
Just me being
So
loud.
what's happening? At
Me
18?
being loud and dumb. All right, I got Tennessee moving up to 18 from 22.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because they had the worst pass rush I've seen since Little League. Last year, they had like 6 sacks last year as a team, like some stupid low number that doesn't even make sense when you say it out loud. So I got moving up. They need pass rush help. There's a lot of guys to take here. We're in a decent area where you're going to see a bunch of edge rushers start to go. So I'm moving up, make sure they get the guy that they want. I have them taking Jalen Phillips out of Miami,
Okay.
who's probably a little raw compared to the other guys still on the board, but he has the highest upside. He's actually being compared a lot to Daniil Hunter.
Mm.
And if he works out like that, then, it's pretty good. You're getting a guy who can get you 12, 14 sacks a year.
Yeah.
You okay there?
Someone just got me.
Intermission while Travis dies.
Holy crap. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. I was just swallowing.
It's like you're like smoking underneath your jacket or something.
Yeah. Holy crap, sorry.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I got him taking Jalen Phillips.
Okay. I have Jalen Phillips going actually pretty quickly here after this pick, but not quite to Miami here.
Yeah.
I have Miami staying at 18. I think they need help on the defense here.
Yep.
They kind of got their offensive kick kind of started here to help out Tua. I think they go defense. I'm taking Greg Newsome, cornerback.
Okay.
I think you pair him on the opposite sides of Xavier Howard.
Yeah, but they have Byron Jones on the other side.
Yeah, but Byron, he's I don't know.
I know he's a bit of a tweener. Like he can go back to safety though.
He could, too. I mean, I think Newsome even could too. Newsome could make a transition to safety if needed.
Okay.
But I think you solidify that back end defense extremely well with one more solid corner.
For sure. I mean, they already had a good defense. I would certainly make it that much more or that much harder to especially throw on. Like they have a great defense, and Fuentes and Brian Fuentes is a great coach, and he's a defense guy anyway. So
Brian Flores.
Flores, thank you. I was like, man,
Fuentes.
Fuentes sounded weird when I said it. I was like, I'm just gonna roll with it.
You can go with it.
Well, I couldn't think of the correct name, so I was like,
I guess that's true.
Keep it rolling. Correct me later.
That's true.
So yeah, he's a great coach. He'll coach him up real fast. That's the kind of coach he is. So
true that. All right, 19.
The Washington Football Team.
Yeah, stupid name, but whatever.
Well, it's not a terrible name. It's not. I don't hate the name, honestly. I don't.
Is it better than Washington Redskins? Like, is it really better?
Well, the Redskins are a PC, so.
I won't say nothing. So Washington, I have them going offense here.
Okay.
I mean, we know the defense made huge upsides, and they're going to continue to make upsides. They obviously got Fitzmagic in. Alex Smith is gone and retired. They still got Heineke behind him.
Yep.
So I think they want to get some offensive weapons. I have them looking at the receiver, Kadarius Toney from Florida.
Tony, I like that pick. They do need some receiver help. I thought they signed someone this offseason too, so I think that's why I went. I didn't go offense for them. I actually went defense to help. So because they had a good pass rush, but they're still lacking in some other places.
Right.
And I have them taking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the linebacker from Notre Dame. By the way, I also practiced that the other night.
I was like, how the hell did you say that?
I practiced for like 10 minutes. I want to make sure
I could barely write that name down.
So I am taking the linebacker on Notre Dame. He's super versatile. He's a stand-up linebacker, but he's actually a really good pass rusher also.
Okay.
So something super versatile. If you need him, put his hand on the ground, put him on the opposite side of Chase Young, and you got a dynamic duo right there.
That's true. That's solid.
So, and I would have liked to go offense here, but I feel like it's a little high for the next receiver. Just in my taste. For this, I have Tony going a little bit lower down. Way lower down, apparently. Don't see him yet. Anyways.
He's still down there.
He's down there somewhere. So I just felt like after the top, the big three receivers,
right.
There's kind of a pretty steep drop off. So I'm going with someone who's super versatile that can just continue to help that defense.
Okay. Solid. Number 20, trade alert. So this is not a new trade. This is the
old trade.
The Panthers trade coming from the 8th spot where Chicago took over.
Mm-hmm.
They take over the end. I think they need help everywhere in every way, but offense seems a little more solidified. Now they got Sam Darnold, Christian McCaffrey. You know, he still got Matt Rule. He'll pull the offense together.
Right.
Defense needs to not let up 40 points a game.
Right. And they have a good set of receivers. I mean, they had Robbie Anderson went for 1,000 yards last year. They actually had 2,000-yard receivers last year. So their offense is pretty solidified. So yeah, I like them taking an offensive or a defensive lineman there. That's great. And again, Jalen Phillips has a ton of upside. If he actually develops too, you put him on the other side with Brian Burns. Mm-hmm. That's another dynamic duo. So I like that pick. Obviously, I have Chicago staying put here. He's not traded. Right? They didn't trade up or anything like that in my draft. So I have him going defense because there's not really much of an offensive player to take here. They could probably use some help on the offensive line or a receiver, which I thought about.
Right.
But again, there's just no one here where I think was great. I'm kind of going back to the defense side. I'm taking Caleb Farley, cornerback from Virginia Tech.
Okay, nice.
Farley is coming off of an injury, and so he's kind of fallen down draft boards. But he has actually the chance to be the best cornerback in this draft. He has really high upside. Before his foot injury, when he had surgery on just, I think, a month ago or so, he was going much higher in most mock drafts. So,
right.
So I could see him, he'll fall a little bit. He's just too good of a talent.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. Great pick. Chicago needs help, and every which way as well. So any solid person that can come in that has real talent that can transition to pro level quickly on that defensive side is good.
There's certain teams where like the Bears, even though the Bears are kind of in a win now situation because they don't, then they're everyone's getting fired.
Yeah.
So they really need to whoever the top player on their board is take. You just gotta get talent.
Yeah, get as much talent on the roster as possible.
Yep.
So number 21, trade alert!
Oh shit!
I got 2 trades here. The second one, I got Green Bay moving up, taking over the Colts position.
Okay.
Colts are trading down.
Okay.
Green Bay moves up, and they take Caleb Farley. They need
they need quarterback help.
They need quarterback help. Anybody watched that Tampa Bay game, the NFC Championship? That cornerbacks got fired that game, guaranteed.
No, they didn't. They re-signed Kevin King.
Oh, Jesus fuck. Well, he's getting replaced now.
To a 1-year deal, but they didn't have many options.
So here's the replacement, Caleb Farley. They need a corner to get King the hell out.
That's great. I actually have them all sticking corner just back at their normal 29 slot.
Yeah.
So you have you have them trained with Indianapolis.
Yeah, Colts moved down to 29.
Okay, cool. So Green Bay up to take Caleb Farley. I like it. They definitely need quarterback help. So you can't fault that at all. I have the Indians staying pat. There's not a lot of things that Indy needs.
Right.
They're really good everywhere.
They're solid.
Their biggest question mark is going to be Carson Wentz this year. Mm-hmm. If he can redevelop and be a decent quarterback, then this team will go far. So I'm staying put and just stacking talent onto the talent they have. I'm taking Jason Owe, edge out of Penn State.
Okay.
This kid is just recently, last couple weeks, starting to fly up draft boards. People are just seeing so much raw talent out of him right now that they're super impressed, and he can end up being a really, really good pick for them.
Yeah, I like it, actually. I do like that one. Interesting. Interesting. So, number 22, Titans.
Well, I got Miami here because I had the...
Damn it.
Yeah. So, I had Tennessee moving up. Right. Interesting enough, where you had Miami take an edge rusher at 18, right?
Cornerback, Greg Newsom.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, I think they need help on the defensive line here. I think that's where they could be a little weak, have a better pass rush. So I have Miami taking Jalen Phillips' running mate, Greg Rousseau, edge out of Miami.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
I don't know if I'm saying that name right at all. It's French.
It's French.
No. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah, probably not. But, we're not here for that crap.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm taking. Greg Rousseau.
Rousseau. Okay. So, I have no trade here, so I'm straight with Tennessee Titans. I agree with you that they do need help on the defensive edge or defensive line in general.
Yeah.
But I don't see anybody that right now, the way I did it. I think they're still going defense, but I'm looking at more of a dynamic linebacker type of look here.
Okay.
So I'm going for Xavier Collins.
Yep. That was a good pick.
Somebody
I like Zaven Collins.
with some speed, dynamic player can be all over the field, make some plays.
Yeah, the one question mark to Zaven is that he went to Tulsa.
Yeah.
But he did win the Bednarik or the Nagurski. He won one of the linebacker awards, which is great. But there's always a fear like lower competition. We'll see how he can translate to the NFL. But no, I like Zaven Collins. I'm going down a little lower in my draft here, so we'll get him. But yeah, no, it's a good pick. I think the Titans need as much help on the defense as they really can get. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's move to 23. Back to the New York Jets. They're on the board again.
They're on the board again.
The Jets are infuriating because if you look at their roster, they have really good talent across the board actually, but they have. I don't know what's wrong with the Jets organization, but they just don't seem to ever be able to put talent together and make it, come together and actually play like a team.
Well, we'll see what Robert Saleh can do.
Yeah, well, that's Robert. I think Robert Saleh. Well, I love Robert Saleh as the hire. So
yeah,
I think with this pick, he's ready to beef up the defense a little more.
Okay.
But not beef it up as in just get a big guy. I'm taking cornerback Greg Newsome II out of Northwestern.
Okay. That's a good pick. I like that too.
He's big. He's long. He's very much in the Richard Sherman mold, which is the exact type of defense that he runs. He wants the big long corners, and Greg Newsome fits the bill.
He does. That's good. I think him being so defensive minded, that's an easy go to. I actually have him going offense here, just because he's so defensive minded coach and so great. Obviously, he came from a DC
just be able to coach it up.
Exactly. So I don't think he's entirely worried about the first draft of getting talent. I think he wants to see what he can work with first.
Mm.
So it's my interesting here. I think they go running back.
Okay.
Frank Gore's old. They don't really have a great backup for him right now.
Right.
You just took Zach Wilson, Najee Harris.
Love Najee.
Right. I mean, he's not the most spectacular running back we've seen out of Alabama in the last decade. He's on the lower tier in terms of what you can compare him to.
Right, but he's the only one that does it all.
He
can run between the tackles, run outside, catches the ball. He does everything.
Yeah. So I think you just get Zach Wilson, a quarterback with an arm, has physical talent, he can run, get outside the ball. You pair him with the Najee Harris, can do a little bit of everything. Big, powerful back.
Right.
You got good, decent receivers on the outside. Kind of get a young core there, and then coach it up.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, the Jets can go. That's the nice thing when you have a lot of picks, like the Jets do. They can do a lot of different things, and you can't really be mad at any pick they take, especially when they're limited in terms of starters. Even though, like I said, they have great talent, but they can't mesh it together.
Right.
So they could do anything, and you're probably improving your team.
Yeah.
In this case, for the Jets, not everybody can say that, but I think the Jets can.
Yeah.
So.
Not bad.
All right, let's move to Pittsburgh.
24.
24, yeah. Interestingly enough, almost everyone and their mother has them taking a running back here because they have no running back. James Conner's gone.
Right.
Are they relying on Benny Snell? Probably not, because that's stupid, because it's Benny Snell. But they also need a lot of offensive lineup. They lost Villanueva. They lost Pouncey.
Yeah.
And as much as they need a running back because they have zero talent there, you have to. It doesn't matter who you have back there if you don't have anybody to block.
Yeah.
For them. Plus, you have to protect Big Ben. Big Ben is injury prone. He has been his entire career, but it's getting worse as he gets older, naturally. But he's also, he also takes hits because he holds on the ball too long. He does all these, you need to give him as much time as you possibly can. So I actually had them going to the offensive line here and taking the big one, Tevin Jenkins.
Okay.
Oklahoma State. He's like we said it earlier, he's huge.
Yeah.
He's very raw in terms of pass protection, but he's an absolute road grader at the tackle position. So,
yeah, absolute monster. Kind of reminds me of Jason Peters when he gets out on the outside, him running down. He'll go 10, 15 yards downfield and go lay a block.
Right, but Jason Peters also can pass block almost anyone in the NFL.
He can, but the athleticism that
right. I get what you're saying.
Is good.
Yeah,
I have him go on that line as well, but not for a tackle. I think they're going to replace Marquise Pouncey at center. So I'm going for Creed Humphrey out of wherever the fuck he's out of from. I don't remember. I didn't write down the school he's out of. Unless I remember, I don't remember.
I'll
think
look
it's
up.
Wisconsin or something like that.
Man, when you first said center, I thought you were for sure going Langston out of Alabama.
Oh.
Yeah, Creed Humphrey he's from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Excuse me. So yeah, I know. I think they would they want a solid replacement to just instantly replace Marquise Pouncey.
Yeah.
Get somebody back in the center and not have to transition a guard to a center just because you draft him. Draft a center, keep him center, and just create that relationship with Big Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very rare to see a center go in the first round.
Yeah.
Like, we had one. It was either last year, or the year before, a kid out of Michigan. But like, you never see centers go in the first round.
Yeah. Rarely, at least.
Yeah, it's because I think it's because there's so many like guards that can go in and play center.
Yeah, it's just if you have an ability to draft a center instead of having to train a guard to learn how to play center, just draft the center. Save yourself the time.
Right.
And the ridiculous mistakes that a new center is going to make when you're not growing up playing center.
Yeah, that's true. So all right, let's move on. Number 25, Jacksonville, back on the board.
Back on the board.
Obviously, they already got their quarterback for the future.
Yep.
And this is the second pick. They need a lot of help kind of everywhere, though. I mean, this team is very talent lacking.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things, like, take the best player available. At this point on my board, I haven't taken Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama.
Okay.
I really like this pick until I saw a report that came out literally earlier today that said people are a little worrisome about him because apparently he's doesn't take to coaching very well. He's a little reticent towards it. And, like, sorry, dude, like, you're a 21-year-old kid going to the NFL. You don't know.
You don't know.
Like, they're going to coach you up, and they're going to coach you up really fucking hard. So you better open yourself up to that coaching. Otherwise, like, you'll be out of the league real fast.
Yeah. It won't work. So, yeah, okay. Interesting. Jags obviously need help in every which direction.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've stated so many times with quarterbacks of the future, you got to protect them. So, right here, Elijah Vera Tucker.
Man, this is way down the board for Elijah Vera Tucker. I didn't even realize I didn't say his name yet.
No, he probably goes up more in the 16, 17, 18 range. I had a couple tackles going that way.
Right.
But either way, if somebody else falls down, I think they go line. They think offensive line regardless.
Like whoever could drop.
Yeah, they need to make sure they're protecting Trevor Lawrence as long as possible.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about doing mock drafts. You'll find that. He's never. This is your first time.
This is my first time.
I've done this for a few years now with a buddy, and you'll find like as you're going through it, like all of a sudden you're like, wait,
you were still around?
Yeah, he hasn't been drafted yet. Yeah. And then you're like, wait a minute, okay, let's go back and like, see where like should he have been drafted earlier, and then you see like the way that your board lines up versus need and all that kind of stuff. The way it kind of falls. It's super weird.
I had a tackle going at 16 to the Cardinals and 17 to the Raiders, so Elijah Vera Tucker could be either of those picks easily.
Yeah, it's super.
But one of those drops down to the Jags, I think they take regardless.
Right. It's one of those things like the NFL is different than any other sport in that yes, you want to draft like the most talent you can, but you also have to draft for need. Like you absolutely have to draft for that.
Yeah.
Whereas in like the NBA, you almost always just take the best player available because the NBA is so fluid as a league and as a team that you just throw talent in and make it work.
Yeah, you get skill and then you work with the skill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and that's just where the NFL differs. So that's interesting. Okay, but anyways, my little
sidebar.
Tangent. Yeah, little tangent.
Okay, so you had Jags going. Say yours again, just because I don't.
Christian Barmore, that defensive tackle on Alabama.
Okay.
Number one defense tackle on most people's boards.
Yeah.
That report came out today again. Worries me a little bit.
Okay. 26, the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
What'd you got?
I had them going edge, and I got them taking. He's not in a lot of people's first round mock drafts. He's in mine though. I like him a lot. His name is Azeez Ojulari, edge from Georgia.
Yeah, you practice that name too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, you have to, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If I showed him these names, he'd be like, huh?
I was like, what? I probably would, too.
First of all, his first name is Azeez.
Azeez. That's a cool name, though.
Yeah. So, he's raw, like, for sure, like, as you kind of get, but, like, Cleveland has a lot, like, one team that has a ton of talent, so they could,
yeah.
And I know they just picked up Jadeveon Clowney to go across from Myles Turner.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett.
Myles
Turner.
Turner?
Myles Turner plays. This is a center for the Indianapolis Pacers. Indiana Pacers. Man, I'm all over the board today. Anyways, yeah. I think you can't ever have enough good pass rushers though in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna rotate them out anyways. Plus, like when you want to go real thin and do like straight pass rush, you can move Clowney or Garrett into the tackle position. Let this kid come from the outside.
True, you could. So I'm kind of in a similar boat here. I haven't going D-line, but I have going with defensive tackle to replace Sheldon Richardson that they lost.
Okay.
Leave the two big boys on the outside where they belong. Get somebody to clog up that middle. Levi, you want to say his last name? You said it earlier, I'm pretty sure.
Levi
Onwuzurike, something like that.
No, I definitely didn't say that.
You didn't say that? Oh, damn, you said some crazy name earlier. I swear that was
no,
the
I
one.
said this is the linebacker from Notre Dame. Levi, what?
I don't know. Onwuzurike, some shit like that. Where's his name right here? Sorry. I don't know. There's no chance in hell I'm saying this guy's name right.
Levi Onwuzurike. You might, maybe. Actually, that was not bad. That was not bad. Actually, I am
something like that.
I am actually surprised. Okay, kid from the university. Yeah, okay. I know you're not.
Where's he from?
He went for the University of Washington.
Washington, okay. Yeah, there's no chance in hell I'm saying his name right. Or like,
right.
You know.
No, he's good. He's definitely one of those kids that he's being talked about like fringe first round, early second kind of situation. So yeah, okay, I like that.
But I mean, yeah, you lost Sheldon Richardson. You got Clowney and Myles Garrett on the edges. Go get yourself for DT. Let him run with the big boys.
Absolutely, honestly, I wanted to get them someone in the back end of the defense, but there just wasn't a cornerback worth taking. I felt like for them without like it being a real stretch. And I don't think they really need help at safety because they just picked up Justin Simmons from the Rams, who is a massive pickup.
Right.
So I didn't think like safety was off the board for me. And I just didn't like any of the corners at this point. So that's why I went defensive line. So
yeah,
and as did you. So that's interesting. Okay, Baltimore. What will Baltimore do? Baltimore. I mean, their offense is not pretty to watch.
No, it's not.
They are very much like 1965, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of situation right now. I know you have. I mean, that's weird to say when you have Lamar Jackson back there, dicing people up, but it's kind of just the style that they just run.
Yeah.
They run the ball 90% of the time. It seems like. And so, what are they gonna do? I don't have them taking offense because I didn't like any of the offense players.
Okay.
So, with that, actually thinking Zaven Collins out of linebacker out of Tulsa.
Okay.
You had it going a little earlier.
Yep.
Pass rusher is definitely need for them. They lost their two top pass rushers from this last year.
Right.
Judon and Ngannou.
Ngannou's a UFC fighter.
Yeah, it's close though.
What is this guy? I can't say. I'm just not choosing not to say the names. He's just making names up at this point.
Yeah,
he's pulling names in from everywhere fucking else.
Inakwe. Okay, it was close.
Okay.
Ngannou was like, man, you know what? Sorry, guys. A lot of these names.
He's talking like 4 different sports now. We're supposed to be doing an NFL mock draft. He's like bringing up the Indiana Pacers and crap over here.
I know, man. I'm sorry, all right? A lot of these names that are coming from like the African regions are not easy to say.
No, they're impossible. So I do agree they did lose their pass rushing and their defense of back end needs some help as well. Obviously they have Marlon Humphrey, but he's about the only shining spot on that defensive side. But I do think they go offense. Even I don't know. I'm not super happy with this pick, but I haven't taken Rashad Bateman.
Okay, out of Minnesota.
Out of Minnesota, I think they need to add a offensive weapon. The receivers are very lackluster.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest it's like there's really not much. They have Hollywood Brown, and that was about the only person that's anywhere decent, and he's not
for a receiver. Yeah.
He's not a number one piece either. He's not a number one guy to go to.
No, he certainly thinks he is though.
He thinks he is, but he's not. I'm sorry to say, but you ain't Hollywood, man.
Yeah,
you ain't Hollywood.
Hollywood by name only.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean they could certainly go. The one person I thought maybe here would be Terrence Marshall Jr. out of LSU. But I'm like looking at him. He's like the exact same player as Hollywood Brown is.
Is he?
Yeah. Like they're like the same size. Like they have the same specs. Like everything's like the same. Like well, they don't need two of them.
No, we don't need two of them.
So I mean, he might be an upgrade over Hollywood for all I know, but like that still leaves you in the same boat. So yeah. I want to go. I really wanted to find a receiver for him, but I just couldn't. So I went with Zaven, who's a really good linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll help the defense anyway. So.
Great linebacker, regardless. So on to 28, the Saints.
Yep.
What you got?
I actually went to receiver for them because I think they're better off incorporating any receiver into this.
Okay.
Plus, they did just lose Emmanuel Sanders. They need another number 2 receiver. I am taking Kadarius Toney out of Florida.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's a good pick right there. That far down, that's great value at that level.
I agree. There's so many like receivers. Like I said, I feel like there's a big drop off. But you're gonna see that I think a slight run on receivers here on the back end of round one or the beginning of the second. And I think he just fits what the Saints do.
Yeah, no, that's a good pickup. I didn't think about that.
Well, you have Kadarius Toney going like
earlier on. Yeah,
much earlier, like 8 picks earlier than I do. So
yeah, I'm going 19 to Washington.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they say defense here though. I think the defense is just absolute garbage.
Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah, and I think we've seen in history like Devin White and Bobby Wagner, people like that. You need a linebacker that can hit the field.
Okay.
So I was looking at Jeremiah Koromoa, something like that.
Owusu-Koramoah. That's who I had going at 19 to Washington.
That's the crazy name you said earlier? Oh,
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Yeah, I skipped the middle name and went to the end. I was like, I'm not saying both.
It's not a middle, it's a hyphenated name.
Well, I skipped half his name, right?
I can tell.
Wasn't going to torture myself with that.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. He's a do-it-all linebacker. He can rush the passer.
Yeah.
So that's a great pick. I haven't gone earlier just because I think that he's going to be... I think he's going to sneak up a lot of people's draft boards. People think he's a bit of a secret.
Yeah.
But I think he's too talented to drop to the back end of round one. So he certainly could. I just think maybe I'm higher on him than most people. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll find out.
I think
right?
he's really good. But no, it's a great pick. If he's still there at 28, amazing pick.
Yeah, value again. High value at that level.
All right. So let's move to 29. You had Green Bay moving up.
Yeah, so 29 for me is the Colts.
Right. Who'd you have Green Bay trading up for again?
You traded up to take Caleb Farley.
Okay. Perfect. So I actually also have Green Bay taking a cornerback, but staying at 29.
Okay.
It's a bit of a reach because there's not a lot of great cornerbacks left, but he has some upside. Plus, they need cornerback help so badly. You you have to get a little desperate, unfortunately.
Right.
So I am taking Tyson Campbell, the cornerback out of Georgia. He kind of do it all. His biggest issue seems like coming out of college that he can be a little just lax in discipline when he's like on the field.
Okay.
When he doesn't feel like the ball's coming his way, he'll slow up. Things like so like in the NFL you'll get burned doing that.
Right.
So like I said, it's a bit of a reach. He's probably more of like a second round pick, maybe early, but I don't know. Like probably more like back half of second round.
Right.
But he's a lot of good upside. So I could see Green Bay reaching because they don't have many options here.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So for me, it is the Indianapolis Colts. Like we spoke earlier, they do have an immense amount of talent. They just got Carson Wentz and he reunites with Frank Wright. So we'll see kind of where how his level of playing is. I think the one piece you need just to solidify, even though it's already good, is the offensive line. Because Carson Wentz's injury-prone history is already there in his young career.
But they already have like one of the best offensive lines in the league, if not the best.
They do, yeah. But with Carson Wentz's past injury, I wouldn't be taking any chances. Stack him up, make him feel as comfortable as possible. Get him and Frank Wright chemistry back to normal. Get it together and see what he can do.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Leon Edgeberg.
Oh, okay.
Offensive tackle.
Yeah. He's out of Notre Dame.
Yep.
Yeah. Another. He's a little thin for an offensive tackle at this point.
Is he?
Yeah, a little bit. Like you're talking about an offensive tackle still.
Okay.
But like for NFL, certainly. But I mean, a single offseason in an NFL training program will change your body real fast. So
that's a good point.
So no, good pick. He actually reminds me a lot of the kid that San Francisco took much early in the draft last year. He was like a top 5 pick for them. Out of Wisconsin, I think he went.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think that he reminds me a lot of him. The other guy's more talented. That's why he was a top 5 pick. But like, I think he has that kind of potential.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving to 30. Buffalo. We're almost done, guys. We're almost at the end.
We're almost at the end.
Honestly, if you've ever done a mock draft, the last few picks are so hard.
They're treacherous, honestly. It's like does it matter? Like you kind of like I don't really care anymore.
Like there is a fatigue thing that goes into it by the end of this because it does take a long time. It's hard because like so many weird things can happen in the back of the draft. Like someone could trade up from the second round to get back into the first.
Yeah.
All kinds of weird things, but I don't have any more trades happening in my mock draft. So I got Buffalo Bills staying here, and I haven't taken Najee Harris.
Okay.
At this point, he's like
not sold on Singletary. You think?
No, why would you? I mean, I've seen 2 years of him.
Well, it's also because they don't ever run the ball, so it's like how much have they actually given the effort?
Well, it's because they did try to run the ball, but when you're running the ball and you're getting 3 yards of carry,
Yeah.
Like, nah, it's not gonna work. And then Zach Moss could do. He's much. I think he's better than Singletary, but I don't think
Much
he's.
better.
I don't think he's your option either. So I am taking Najee Harris, who
Okay.
is a true 3-down back, who is better than both of them. I don't think he's even close, actually. Like I said, Najee Harris is the number one running back on my board. At this point, he's my best player available.
Right.
Najee Harris is actually probably like a top 15 talent in this draft, but because he's a running back, he's running backs just fall in the draft.
Yeah, but he's going against competition, unheard quarterback and receiver competition in that first 10 picks.
Right.
Like, there's no chance he stays a top 10 pick just because the competition and the needs are not where he needs.
Right. I mean,
his
I have 5 quarterbacks winning the top 10.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He has a thin chance.
Exactly. So that's what I have them doing. They don't need a lot. They don't have a lot of needs, but running back's definitely one.
Running back is definitely one. I have him going for defensive end here.
Okay.
I think
that's right. That's the other. They're not a great pass rush team. So that's like their other main.
They pull some edge. You said it earlier, Jason.
Owe,
yeah.
From Penn State, yep.
Is that somebody can go get in there and needs to hit the quarterback. You got to carry pressure.
Yep.
It doesn't even have to equate back to sacks or forced fumbles or anything. Just hits.
Mm-hmm.
Hits and pressures is all it takes to disrupt an offensive quarterback. Get him out of rhythm, and then you can use your defensive scheme to your advantage and start calling those plays that you didn't beforehand.
Yeah, for sure.
Little things.
For sure. Yeah, it's a great pick. I have him going much higher than that just because I think he's like absolutely skyrocketing up draft boards for a lot of teams. So we'll see. Now we're back to Baltimore. Now I couldn't figure out where to do this at because Baltimore obviously now has 2 first-round picks. They just made that trade to send Orlando Brown Jr. To Kansas City, and they got Kansas City's first-round draft pick, right? So you have 2 picks right at the end of the draft. Absolute monster ammunition to move up if they want to go get like someone like a Jalen Wall or something like that, right?
Right.
But I just couldn't figure out like where they could move up to do that and what team would want to trade that far back down. So it was really hard for me to like figure that out. So I had him staying put, but I don't be surprised if Baltimore is not picking at 31 or 27 and they're picking at like 18 or something like.
Right.
Like you can certainly see that, but I still have them going receiver. And I actually have him taking Terrence Marshall Jr., even though I know he's just like Hollywood Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like, there was no one else, and they need receiver help, so it's like, screw it.
Screw it. Okay. Interesting. I have him going offensive line. They need to replace Orlando Brown Jr. They just sent away.
Oh.
You got to get somebody in there, so I have him taking Alex Leatherwood.
Okay, from Alabama.
From Alabama, big guy, kind of similar to Brown.
Now, you have quite the run on offensive lineman in the back end of your draft.
I do, yeah. Pretty heavy offensive line.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's always needed. Even if it's not your number one need, you're not going to get an offensive line at round 2, round 3, round 4 that's worth anything in reality. So if he's there for the taking, you can find your hidden keys, your hidden talents in 2, 3, 4 in skill positions.
Yeah.
Offensive line, you don't. Out of the first round, you ain't really finding much that you can work with.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In general. So they need to replace Orlando Brown Jr.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's huge. So, certainly could, again, I actually believe they'll probably move up in the first round. I just couldn't figure out where.
Right, yeah. That's a hard one to look at.
So, all right. Last pick of the first round, Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I have to admit, this pick took me longer than any other pick doing this because
they re-signed all 22 starters. Like, it's the same damn team, so what do you need? You're not replacing anything.
Right.
You're getting backups.
Like, they're stacked everywhere.
Yeah. Like, you're just getting backups in reality here.
Right. And, like, so you're souping up your special teams?
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
I mean, okay, that the one spot they might be able to, like, update that a little bit.
I guess,
so,
yeah.
I mean, I went with someone, like, it's like, just take whoever you think is the best player on your board. That's who you take because you don't have any weaknesses.
Right.
I mean, maybe they get a little funky and they pick, like, the quarterback out of Stanford who could be the sixth quarterback. Most people think is the sixth quarterback to let him groom under Tom Brady for a couple years.
Not a bad choice.
So maybe they do something like that. I don't have them doing that. I have them taking Trayvon Marrig, the safety out of TCU.
Okay.
That was kind of my best player available. They don't have a real need for safety, but like he's a guy who can come in case one of them gets hurt again, like they both did at the end of this year. He can play special teams, so and he's just a good player, like he is.
Yeah, solid player. Yeah, again, like there's not much to go on here, but like similar to what I said at 31. If you have I'll go offensive line here. I was saying if there's offensive line for the taking, you take them. And if you don't have needs and you have all 22 starters, why not get you another great offensive line?
Yeah.
And either you send them away and you get something back from them in the offseason, or you're just stacking the odds. You're having somebody gets hurt. Here you go.
Right.
Creating competition as well within the locker room on the offensive line. So you never know if you get somebody better. So I have him going for Gregor or Roos Hall.
What?
The French dude that you said earlier.
Yeah, he's a defensive end though.
No, man, I say, you sure?
Yeah, he's a defensive end on Miami, bro.
Gregor Rousseau?
Greg Rousseau, yeah, he's a defensive end.
Well, maybe my O is a D. That's fucking awkward, bro. Holy shit.
That's right. You know what? You get the pass. I've been screwing up the entire damn episode. So you know what? Travis gets the pass on that one.
Apparently my D looked like an O there. My bad.
Travis has worse handwriting than doctors do.
I don't write things. I don't need to.
So, all right. That's our mock draft.
That's mock draft.
Bit of a shit show getting telling it to you guys, but hey, we'll get there.
It is also like midnight on a Sunday here. It's late for us.
Yeah, it's been a long weekend. Luckily for you guys, if you couldn't understand half the stuff we were saying, I'm gonna type up both of our drafts. I have mine typed up. I'll type up his if I can read his chicken scratch. And I'm gonna post them. I'm gonna post them to our social media on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
That way, you guys can actually see them and comment on them. Yeah, I'm sure there's more than one pick that one of us did that you guys think was just dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it goes.
Or maybe you think we're just dumb because of the way we spoke tonight.
Maybe.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. You know what?
So.
We're smart enough. We're not
smart enough.
We're not geniuses, but we're smart enough,
Jesus, here we go.
We figured out how to set up the camera.
Alright, now we're just gonna ramble.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We're gonna post on social media. If you have any comments, let us know. If you're watching YouTube, let us know there as well.
Yep.
In the comment section, if you agree, disagree, what are your thoughts on this NFL draft? Besides that, we'll be back next weekend per usual.
Yep.
I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but I know that we'll,
it's a good time.
It's always a good time. So
thanks, guys. Talk to you next week.
Peace out.